It
Just like
says
the
we
door.
are. I'm going to just open up a...
Oh,
Yeah,
I hope it reverbs back into the into the stream somehow.
yes. It looks like we are live,
Hey, very good.
but I'm now going to... Yeah, how do I... Yes. Okay. I need the chat somehow.
Chat. This is good. Keep this all in the podcast recording. I like the
I,
idea of people
I,
hearing
I
behind the
hate how
curtain.
I hate how it doesn't let me check these things before we go live. I think that's the one thing I don't like about Riverside.
You probably could. You probably could have done your own playtesting.
Yeah, I probably could have. I don't think it can see us. Two people are watching.
Which do I hope it's my mum and dad.
Honestly, one of them might be me testing to see if anything is working.
Hey, it's
Hey,
Jeffrey.
it's Jeffrey. He can't see us.
Amazing. Love that.
Wait.
To almost see us.
Can you hear us though? Oh, good. It sent it twice. I'm starting to think I don't like Riverside as much as I thought.
I think it's fine. I think there's always growing pains with streaming. This could be related to either one of our internets. It could be related to many of the many things that exist.
Where, yeah.
I
Okay,
like the yeah, very good. That's fine.
wonderful.
Just assume that I'm really handsome, and Damo is equally but not quite as handsome.
So, can hear us, can't see us. Excellent. I don't know how to fix that because we can see each other and I don't know what we're supposed to be doing. So, if
The
people
most
can't
important
see...
part of this is the visual that's on the screen. So as long as you can see the visual that's on the screen, the official mailbag tier list, then that is the most important feature of this episode.
If people can't see us, then I'm not going to put the cameras up. I'm just going to do this.
And if you get hit, it's your own fault.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess we get started.
Do you want me to intro the show? Hello and welcome to the Footy Mailbag Live. We are here. I am Clarky, and joining me, as always, is the wonderful, effervescent, beautiful, handsome, definitely on screen Damo.
This thing is going to make me get really mad.
This thing's gonna make me get rid of him. That's fine. You know what? The most important part is that we've got the visual on screen and we are currently live on YouTube. Audio listeners, we're not currently live, but we are living in your head. Damo, Supercoach is officially open as of this week, and I don't know about you, but I'm on day 3 and my team hasn't stayed the same for a single one of those days.
I'm very proud of myself. Today is the first day I haven't actually gone into my team and changed anything.
Hmm. That's, interesting. It's interesting that you were able to do that because it's the best part of the early season, right? The preseason before anything's locked in.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain things I want to try out with my team, but every time I think of something that I wanted, like, so let's talk about quickly. Let's talk about the coaches panel who are doing some great things this preseason. But something that MJ always says on the coaches panel is, when you're struggling to put a team together or when you're not happy with the way your team looks, don't just shuffle around with what you have, delete everything, and then come back to it. Every time I do that, I always come back to the same premiums in the same positions. It's always just the rookies and the mid prices that surround them that I keep changing. But I'm reaching the point where I'm just waiting for rookies at this point. So
Yes.
there's not a lot for me to change other than playing around with how I get that high price rookie as opposed to just starting a 119 guy if there are a bunch of high price rookies that become must haves, etc., etc. Like there's not a lot of changing for me in terms of my premium structure. It's more my rookie structure, my cash gen structure, and then my cash reserves aside from that.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of we're in that part of the season where the rookies that you kind of put in, you look at, okay, I'm just trying to fill out a price point here to give myself an idea of what my budget's actually going to be rookie wise. And I think by the time we see the green ticks in March, we'll probably have a little bit extra budget to maybe flick to a little bit of a mid price or maybe a more expensive rookie if you've priced yourself down a little bit. So I think it's important that you kind of give yourself a varied rookie price structure, just so you know, like get your William Dersmers, get your Zeke Eulens, but also sliding in those, maybe you're using Kalani White as a 99k potential like loop option, but just give yourself the room to wiggle with that.
Yeah, and like I love seeing people share their teams, talk about their teams online because there is nothing wrong with what anyone is saying at the moment. There like it's all just opinion, it's all and sometimes it's I want that player in my team, I just can't get them to fit around the other players that I want in my team. So, yeah, it's great to see other people's team makeups and how they have gone around picking their players, but at the moment it's just everyone's just playing around and seeing what works. And we kind of want those preseason games, those scratch matches, those community series games to start up so we can finally see something that's you know that is any that gives us any reason behind our selections. And it'll also give us an idea of the new ruck rule and the last touch out of bound rule as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, Damon, should we get to the meat of this beautiful meat pie of an episode?
Absolutely.
We have a selection here of what is it, 40
It is
premium players from
40 premiums. I haven't split it up in to equally in position groups. It's just I have picked 40 random premium players. So any player above 450k in defense, any player above 500k in the midfield and ruck line, and above 450k in the forward line.
That's it. So we have this selection here, and we're going to do an old-fashioned tier listing. We're doing an old-fashioned style. We could say, it's easy to split it and go, oh, you lock this guy in and lock that guy in and watch this guy. But you already know, um, you already know what you're looking for in the premiums in department. We kind of already know who the faces are, so we're just sort of giving you an idea of maybe the guys you need to consider rather than the guys that are 100% lock them away in your team and where we personally rate them. I would be surprised if any of these fall into the D tier, but I'm actually looking through and I can see a couple who I'm like, oh, actually, no, maybe I'm wrong.
There's a few guys I've put in there based on previous comments you've made, just so we can have some a bit of fun with this.
Yeah, exactly. What's a mailbag episode without a personal jab from one of us to the other?
Anyway, I reckon we start with this guy here, Dylan Moore, because he is all on his own. So we need to probably put him somewhere so he has.
He does look lonely.
He does look lonely. Let's start with Dylan Moore. Where do we think about Dylan Moore? He's the kind of guy who can go 120, but can also go 40. I had him to finish my team last season, and it was fine. It was fine.
It's fine.
Like he would sometimes pump out a 75, sometimes pump out 110, sometimes pump out a 40, and I wasn't surprised by any of the scores really.
What price point is he at? Do you have that in front of you?
He is 459, I believe. 459 or 469.
459, 460. for a forward,
So,
I
someone in
don't
the
know.
someone who's watching in the chat, because we are live, can correct me. I didn't actually take note of prices, um, but I'm just going to look up now
That's right. He's
quickly. But
469 900 for a guy
okay,
who last year averaged, what was that, 86?
86.
86 is not. I am going to put him in, not for. Not because he's a turd, but I'm probably going to put him in, I reckon, C or D. I know I
I
said that
was
I couldn't see a lot of D guys, but
I was thinking C. I was thinking C.
C for, come on, you got to be desperate.
Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking C.
The trouble with the forwards is that it's such a difficult line to take a premium from
Okay.
and go, I'm 100% behind this guy for the whole year.
Let's establish this now. Are we going to order them in their tiers as well?
Nah, it's fine.
Okay. So if someone else gets C tier, we don't put them above Dylan Moore because they're closer to B than D or
Oh,
something
you know
like
what?
that.
We can do that. That's fine.
Okay.
We'll see.
All
We'll
right.
see
Okay.
if
Okay.
we'll stop when we can't be bothered anymore, which is the
All right.
mailbag way.
Sure. Okay. Excellent. All right.
Who's next, Damo?
Now Dylan isn't by himself. We can go in order. Let's start with Nazaya Wanganeen Malera, 622k in defense. Is he
The
in your,
highest.
is he in your team at the moment, Clarky?
This is going to be controversial. He's in my team, but I don't like it.
He's not in my current team, and I don't like it.
It's such a difficult price point for a guy that we know what he can average. We know that St Kilda were desperate to keep him. You know, an average of 115 as a defender, and starting at 622, he is the highest priced defender.
Hmm.
I worry whether that will continue straight away. Does that make sense? Like, it's not that I don't think he
Yeah,
can do it. It's just
he's
I wonder if will the hot form continue when we don't necessarily know how well he's going to be able to perform out of the gate. Although their first match, I believe, is against Melbourne, which historically is good for him.
I I don't like that he is above 600k. I genuinely don't like spending above 600k on my forwards or my defenders. But if he's going to play midfield, if he's going to have that plum midfield role for St Kilda, then it's almost like you're picking your premium midfielder. It just so happens to be in defense. But yeah, I don't think I can pay 622k for him, which probably bumps him out of S tier. But I'm happy to put him in A.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you. I just think output versus price, he is an A tier premium at this price point. If he was 590, I reckon he'd still be S.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Like I think
I
I
mean,
think I could
we're
talk
happy
myself
to
into it.
spend 580k on Harry Sheasel. So
Well, yeah. And I think the DPP, if he does spend more time in the mid, like the potential for DPP does elevate his standing a little bit, but you can't
yeah,
rely on that when he's defensive only.
yep, for sure.
Who's next, Amo?
Let's go. Or do we go in order, or do I pick a random guy?
Do whatever you want. Go to who your
All right.
heart
Well,
wants to talk
we
about.
said Harry Sheasel, so let's go for Harry Sheasel. He's down here next to Christian Petrarca's media photo the day he got traded.
Yes, thank you, Damo. Thank you very much for that. I'm gonna go out on a limb. My gut feel for Harry Sheasel, which is really weird to say, but based on Messiah Wangani Malera rules, which I'm gonna call it from now on,
Yep,
I think Harry Sheasel is an S tier as a forward.
S tier as a forward. I can agree with that. As a midfielder, though, because he's dual position. As a midfielder, though, he's probably B tier.
I think he's still probably A to S tier at that price point as a mid.
Okay, I'm happy with S tier. I'm happy to put Sheasel in S. We can have a look at the end, I guess.
We can have a look at the end. What's stopping you from putting him in that upper echelon?
Alistair Clarkson?
Yeah,
moving
there
him
wasn't
around all the goddamn time.
all the damn time. I think he strung together. I think he strung together some really good scores
Look,
towards the end of the year. He only had
well,
one score below 90, which was against Hawthorn in
his
round 16, and the rest of them were all positive.
his last year actually wasn't as bad as people kind of made it out to be. If you look at his season, he only had a couple of low end games, but most of his scores were 90 plus in that 90 to 110 range. So I think he's yeah okay. We'll put him in S. We'll put him in S.
I can see Juicy Gerbil. Excellent. Um, it says an A plus tier for Sheasel. Yeah, I think that's correct. He probably, if we could put him on the line, I think we'd probably put him on the line. I think the DPP elevates him a little bit, and like we were saying about Nas, where it's not the output I'm necessarily concerned about, it's the price versus the position. And Sheasel ticks the box by being DPP and under, under what, under 600 as a forward availability.
Yeah.
Lock it away, I think.
All right. Next guy. How do we feel about Tom Stewart?
I we spoke about Tom Stewart last week. Um,
No. We'll discuss. We'll discuss. Are we talking about these players as a starting selection?
I think so. I think that's
Okay,
it's
as a
the only measure that we can judge them on.
as a starting selection, D. After he has his round 4 injury and comes back in round 6 and then bottoms out at 400k, he could be an A tier because obviously you're not paying 500k for him. But as it stands right now, I am not considering Tom Stewart for both that injury reason and also the early buy.
500,000 is a lot to pay for Tom Stewart to start the year. I think let's go on the idea that we're talking about premiums, so they're
Yes.
somebody who you're not intending on moving on
Yeah.
without good cause. So I would actually agree. I think he probably might be D tier.
Okay. You D. Okay. Or C after Dylan Moore.
No, because I'd be more likely to start Dylan Moore than I would be to start Tom Stewart.
Okay. Tom Stewart D tier. D
This is
tier.
this is gonna be great. I hope Twitter explodes if we post this.
Oh, we're going to post this.
Where's the one Geelong supporter who's going to tell us that we're dogs for putting Tom Stewart in D tier?
Hey, let's make the Geelong supporters happy now with Max Holmes.
S.
I have purely for early buy A.
Just get other players who aren't on the buy. It's fine. 600k for Max Holmes is feels really cheap to me.
Just because he is sitting in your team at D3 or doesn't
M3.
at M3, where I forgot what position he was for a second there, doesn't mean he has to be an S pick. All your picks, not all of my picks are S tier, not all of your picks are S tier.
But I'm good at Supercoach.
I'm putting Max Holmes in A.
I just think he is an exceptional premium player. Like, even if he wasn't in my team, I think his seasonal average betrays him just a little bit, because of a poor end to the season. Like, there was a run where we got like a 128, 107, 152, 155, 110 just before the bye. High scores of 147, 154. Like, that's the guy that you're paying for. Like, Geelong are only going to be better this year.
I still think A.
Okay, you know what? That's fine. I will be laughing all the way to the bank with all those points.
You do that. Okay, Clarky, let's make you happy. Max gone.
B.
B. B.
This is me proving a point that my personal bias isn't affecting my rankings. I love Max Gawn. He's in my team. He's very expensive, and his first matchups are against Rowan Marshall. Hang on, I've got the fixture here. Rowan Marshall, then Luke Jackson and Sean Darcy, then Carlton. So who's that going to be? Liam Reedy. maybe
Someone.
someone. Then he's got Jared Witts in Gold Coast, and then Essendon, which
Does
who's Nick
Fremantle play
Ryan?
Melbourne that early in the season?
We play you guys at Optus in round 2, probably on a Sunday afternoon.
Holy shit. And you said Darcy and Jackson. It could be Cox, Darcy, and Jackson. Excuse me.
Great. I'm sure you're thrilled about that. I just
Oh yeah, I am over the moon.
I think it's 649, 689, sorry. He's the most expensive ruck. I think he can do it, and I think he is a perfect premium, but I struggle at that price to put him in the A tier just because there's other ruckmen who present better value as well.
Yeah, and again, the new ruck rules. We don't exactly know how that will affect the rucks going into the season, but we'll dedicate an episode to going over the rules and how we think they'll affect players. So we won't talk about that too much now.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily too concerned about that affecting Gorn because of the reasons why I think he's neat in all the other seasons.
Yeah,
He plays very well both ways, so he doesn't just score from ruck contests. He is taking defensive marks, he's taking offensive marks, he's kicking goals. He's actually a part of the ball movement, and I don't think that will change under Stephen King. I think Gorn really carved out like a nice little niche for himself that can help open up Melbourne's new attacking style, which from all training reports seems to be based on speed,
yeah.
and more angular ball movement, which is good. We'll see. I don't know. I think B because I think you could start him and
Okay,
nobody should blink twice. But if you don't start him, it makes sense.
let's do a 2-for-1. Let's do Caleb and Andy.
Stars
Now,
of Toy Story 5.
now I think so. Let me place them, and I'll tell you where I'm placing them and why. Okay.
Okay, go on.
I'm putting Andy here, and I'm putting Caleb here, but I think that Caleb's the better starting selection.
You've decided to curse Caleb this year.
Curse Caleb.
Yeah, remember you said that there's a point where they switch halfway in the season. So if you think Sarong is the better starting, then that means that Andy will be better finishing.
Yeah, probably, but that by that point you'd have both in your team, hopefully.
So talk me through why you believe that Sarong is the better starting pick, yet he's ended up in the lower tier.
So if we're talking about transitional game and the ball staying in motion more often because of the last touch out of bounds rule, that suits Andy Brayshaw's game style more easily because he moves from inside to outside a little easier than Caleb Sarong does. But that doesn't mean that Caleb Sarong can't do it. He just hasn't needed to do it. I was watching lots of Sarong's draft footage from years and years and years ago.
Remembering the
And
good times.
remembering the good times, Sarong can be that transitional mid. He just hasn't been required to do it for Fremantle. And I think that he will eventually adjust and become good with the new rules, whereas Brayshaw will just play his natural game. But because one is slightly higher than 600k and one is slightly lower than 600k, I believe one to be slightly overpriced and one to be slightly underpriced, but I predict them both to finish with about a 110 average.
Okay. I'll accept your judgment on this one.
Okay,
I think that's perfectly cromulent.
sure. Clarky, pick someone.
Second row, 8th from the left.
Okay, Jack Steele.
Oh, Jack Steele. Put him in.
How do you think Jack Steele will go?
Good.
Do you think it's going to be Harvey Langford's midfield or Jack Steele's midfield or Cozzy Pickett's midfield?
I think it's been shown through the training drills that Jack Steele is stepping straight into the Melbourne midfield.
Hmm.
He's been involved as a core of the mid group for the entire preseason so far. Given, a grain of salt because Giacovani is currently with the rehab group,
Hmm.
but expected to join sort of main training soon. I don't think I will put him in my team only because I don't know how Melbourne's going to go. Like I don't trust how they're going to go. So I feel like a B or C because I think he absolutely has a role and has an avenue to score.
What
I
about
don't I don't think I trust it. So I definitely would put him above Dylan Moore.
so top
And
of C,
I'd probably put him at the bottom of B.
bottom of B? Okay.
Yeah, just because look,
Okay.
I've seen the vision, right? Like I've been watching the Melbourne training stuff. Obviously, I'm following my club a little bit closer than I'm following a lot of the other clubs, and preseason's really exciting, and you get to see all these players, and he's a really good price point, and I think he's really involved. 510K. Will I start him? No, but I think he's definitely a smoky that people should consider more.
Okay. Yeah, he's kind of been in and out of my thinking. I don't know how I would fit him in if I started him, but he's been in my thinking as someone who I could potentially turn to. But yeah, I don't know how I would fit him in and where and who I would remove for him, which is probably the next issue in bringing him in the first place.
I think you have to think of what he's bringing to the Melbourne group as well. Like that seniority and
Yeah.
high level AFL experience is something that they really need as part of that group. Like losing Oliver and losing Petrarca, you're actually losing almost 10 years of football, right, from your mid group. And Harvey Langford's great, and Xavier Lindsay's going to be great. Caleb Wins is in his fourth year. Giacovani's the last of the old dogs, and Max Gordon. So even
Yeah.
Cozzy has sort of not he's not spent he's only just sort of moving into that mid role. So although he's got the football seniority, is he a midfield leader? I don't necessarily think so.
Yeah. Okay. Bont. 722K, I believe. Or have I completely no, 706K.
You're close. You're close. Close
Oh,
enough that
almost.
I wasn't going to correct you.
706K. I cannot spend 700K for a mid, but it is Bond.
I was about to say, I know that, but I could if it was Marcus Montempelli. I I would put him above Nasiah, possibly below Sheasel in S tier, because he just does it. Like he just does it every year. Yes, he's 700K. Yes, you probably lose money, but the losing money on Bont matters absolutely stuff all. If
I
you're getting a guy who, after missing the first 5 rounds, came back against St Kilda and scored a 159, a 128 against GWS, and a 141 against Port. Like he came back from injury in round 6, and then for the next 5 rounds until their bye, he scored pretty much over 100 every week, except for against Gold Coast where he scored 99, which, to be honest, in Supercoach land is essentially 100 because of scaling. Right? Like, it's an easy yes. I agree with
okay.
Jeffrey in the chat.
I'm purely because of price. I'm putting him behind Sheasel though.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I'd be more likely to spend 700K on Bont than I would be to spend 620 on Nas. And I think that's what elevates him, right?
Okay. I trust you.
You trust me, but you won't do it.
I mean, yeah. All right.
We've done it. You've done it before. If you've done it with Bont, you've done this every year with Bont, where you go like, he's so expensive. Stuff it. I'll bring
I
it.
can I say this is probably the worst thing to ever say about any player. But
Go on.
he was so expensive last season, and I really didn't want to start him. And then he got injured, and I didn't have to start him, and I almost felt a relief come off my shoulders because
Yeah.
I was able to put that money elsewhere to make my team far more balanced.
No, no, I get it. I get it. You're not happy for the injury, but the circumstances that it creates are
Correct.
a lot more advantageous.
Yes. Yes. I'll use those words.
Yes. Who's next, Big D?
Let's go with Sam Walsh.
Ooh.
Now, you said on the last podcast that you were watching Sam Walsh so you could get directions on how to not select Sam Walsh.
Yes, yes, I did. I only looked at Sam Walsh to get directions of how to get away from Sam Walsh. I think he is a.
Is he above Tom Stewart?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
100%. He's probably above Dylan Moore as well.
Okay, but is he still C?
He's mid only. He's quite expensive, but he is Sam Walsh. 540. So he's more expensive than Jack Steele, but he only averaged 6 more points. So Jack Steele averaged 94, Sam Walsh averaged 100. Looking at the scores across the season as well, didn't play a lot of the back half of the year. Oh, yuck. Yeah, high end C.
Okay.
He's currently uninjured, so I've got to give him the benefit of the doubt because you're injured until you're not, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think yeah, high end C feels right.
All right, let's get the other stupid press photo out of this list here.
To make you
Christian
feel
Petrarca.
Is Walsh worse than Steele? Asked Jess. I think Walsh is worse than Steele only because of his injury history. And I'm not saying that he is going to be injured or that he's injury prone, but something about that risk profile where Sam Walsh has kind of been battling some stuff over the last couple of years where he's just had periods where he's missed from like a couple of games to like 10 games.
He asks a good question though.
I
Is
think, I
Walsh
think
is Walsh worse than Steele? Oh,
from a super coach perspective, yes, because Walsh is
okay.
more expensive than Steele with
Okay.
with an injury history, and Steele has moved to a new club. We know that his scoring woes. His 94 average includes games where he scored like 40 because Ross Lyon was absolutely just like fucking him off. Like they wanted him to leave. Like
Yeah.
apologies for language. He was fricking him around,
Yeah.
because they wanted rid of him, right?
He
Like,
was
and
he was subbing his milestone game, wasn't he?
yeah, it's disgusting, right? Like they wanted rid of him, but Melbourne need that in the side.
Yeah.
I think there's a role there, and I think yeah, I don't know. I just
All right. Let's leave that. Okay. We're happy with Steele in B. Sam Walsh top of C. What about Christian Petrarca?
Christian Petrarca. You see, I would have put him in B tier,
Okay.
except for literally before recording. I saw some stats about how he's moving at Gold Coast, and I'm like, crap, he might be really good. What's your immediate vibe?
So people keep talking about Gold Coast's early fixture, and I think I've talked about it a few times as well. But I feel like if I was going to start a Gold Coast player, Petrarca would be below the other two guys that I would want to start. Like I think Anderson, then Rao, and then Petrarca, and then I have to decide: is Petrarca with his early buy going to be better than someone like Pickett without his early buy? And so for me, if I was putting Petrarca in, he would be above Steele in B. Here, wait, no, here,
522, and he's got
here,
DPP. I think I'd put him there.
yeah,
I'm actually gonna say maybe move Max between Petrarca and Steele, just on price
for price
and
reasons, yeah.
price and unpredictability of Melbourne. I think so. Yeah, Sarong at the top of B.
I
Uh,
so even though I put them there, I feel uncomfortable seeing Sarong in B. But I told you my reasons why.
You're doing the Supercoach equivalent of like, okay, cool, I've put like 50 on black, but 30 on red, just in case. Like that's what this feels like. Yeah, I think potential for output for Petrarca is higher.
Yeah,
He's 520 and DPP as a forward. I think he
yeah,
might be one of the forward premium options. You kind of just have to select because he can do it. Like he can
yeah.
do it. I think the Suns midfield is a little bit stacked for him to get much more mid time, but if they're playing him in a proper hybrid role, then there's goal scoring upside if he decides to kick straight one of these years.
We've seen him score in a premium way as a forward for Melbourne, and we
When?
know that and we know that Melbourne had trouble with their forward supply. So now is it the Suns? We might see even the lack of midfield role not really bother his output.
I do think, ironically, in us saying that his Petrarca was one of the reasons why Melbourne's scoring stats as a team was so low because he converted so poorly at points in the year. Anyway, Damo, who's next?
Let's go with Lockie Whitfield.
Lockie Whitfield. I haven't thought about Lockie Whitfield all year. Is that bad?
I've seen him in a few teams, but he hasn't really come across my mind as a possible starting selection. That's not to say he's not a bad starting selection. I just haven't really thought about him. He's 599k, so he's less than $1,000 under 600k.
Yeah, I think it's because he's quite expensive, but I do think that he is somebody who outputs quite well.
Yeah.
Right, like, but Lockie, so him and Lockie Ash are very similarly priced, and they both kind of bring different things to the table. Whitfield
Mm.
has the pedigree of just having a ceiling on him. I don't know whether I think he falls into B tier
Okay.
at
Now
that price.
I'm making a move.
Okay, go on.
I need to put Caleb up in A.
Oh, you coward!
Yeah.
You
I need to
coward.
I need to put Brayshaw and Sarong together.
That's it. Put Gorn in S. I take everything back.
I'll put Gorn to the top of B.
Yeah,
No,
I think that's perfectly fine for Lockie
yeah.
Whitfield. He's got the ceiling. It's just his price. If we're not spending 620, like if you're spending 600k on Lockie Whitfield, you're probably better off spending 20k on buying Messiah, right? Like,
Yeah.
is that I feel like is that
I
not
I
not
I feel
insane?
I feel like 20k, 23k isn't too much to find to just go up to Nazaya. So yeah, I think I agree with that.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of like when you go somewhere and you're like, that's $2.50 more, and you can get like a large drink with it. You're like, I
Yeah.
may as well. I may as well.
Yeah, okay. So Lockie Whitfield top of B.
Yeah. Damo, second row, fourth from the right.
Fourth from Jordan Sweet.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I can't see any of these faces enough to tell who's who. Jordan Sweet. Jordan Sweet's really interesting. He's D
So
tier, but he's
so
interesting.
so Jordan Sweet actually falls out of the premium category, but I included him because
You
I
wanted to.
think because I feel like I feel like he was worth a discussion.
Well, you've
Because
got Christian
because
Salem in there, who's also out of the premium gap, so it's
no, he
fine.
is no Christian Salem falls into the defender gap. But Jordan Sweet, because I said 450k up for defenders and forwards, 500k up for rucks and midfielders.
Right.
I think Jordan Sweet, people are looking at him as a potential season long keeper at 470k.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why I put him in this one.
Yeah. So is there anyone to? They've got Soldo. Do they? Is Soldo still at Port?
Soldo's still there. The one that's gonna come threatening him, the one that's gonna threaten his position is Dante Vicentini.
Who?
Clarky. You don't know my boy Dante?
No, no. Sorry, I'm only familiar with his brother Vigo.
Yeah, Dante Vicentini. He's played more as a forward sort of chop out ruck, but he's apparently come back from preseason in in really good shape. He's bulked up a lot.
Who hasn't, Damo? The only
It, fe-
people who don't
it
come
feels
back
like
from
every
preseason in good shape are us as content creators,
other supporters, yeah,
other content creators. We come back stressed and anxious.
and ready for the season to start again.
Yeah, shaking. My bitten all my fingernails off already, and it's not even been a week. I agree that he is D tier, but he is very
Above,
very interesting. I think he's above Tom Stewart
yeah,
because it's his job to lose.
yeah,
I think that's the vibe at Port, right? From everything that I'm seeing.
yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have much to talk about on Jordan this week, to be honest. You picked someone who was a nice, quick discussion.
Excellent. Damo, top line, ninth from the left.
Matt Rowell.
Hell yeah. Put him in S.
Can I?
You're going to put him in A, and you're wrong.
No, no, no. I want to put Rowell at top of A, and then
Uh-huh.
I'll put Anderson in S.
I don't. I don't know about that. I don't know about that one.
I actually, you know what? If Brayshaw and Sarong are both A, I consider Rowell and Sarong possibly the better duo. You've heard that here first. I'm saying it out loud. Whoops. Um, if they are A, then these two are S.
I I think that Matt Rowell has a much better avenue for scoring than Anderson. Anderson is definitely a much
What about
more.
there?
He's a
What about
more impact player. Yes. So what? So they're
what about
matching.
what about A for Anderson and S for
Yeah.
Rowell?
And R for Rowell. I think that Anderson is at the top of A tier, and Rowell is at the bottom of S tier.
I'm putting Anderson behind Nazire and Holmes.
That seems fair. Holmes is very attractively priced.
Yeah.
Anderson just he has these games right. He has more games than Rao where he's just not really involved. Rao scores so well from like offensive pressure acts, where Anderson kind of relies on like the outcome of his play. Like he's a bit more of a playmaker, and Rao is kind of a line breaker. Right? Is that
Mm,
is that the correct terms? Or am I
I'll
just
allow it.
thinking? Yeah, am I thinking that they're correct? You kind of know what I mean. Like Rao gets in there, gets the ball out, or is an absolute tackling machine. Like the amount of tackling records that he's probably set at GWS, are phenomenal. And there was that run last year where I think he didn't drop below like 130 or something for like 4 weeks.
You'd be surprised. Noah Anderson has a ceiling.
He does, but he also has a game like against Carlton where he scores 55 or Geelong 75.
Yeah. I I like
I
I really like both of them.
I also really like both of them. I own Anderson in a keeper league,
But
and he is the best player on my team.
if we're talking about as starting selections, and if we're leaning towards players that are better in the transition, like a Nazire, like a Holmes, like a Sheasel, like a Whitfield, those sorts of players, I rate Anderson higher in that category than I do Rowell.
Sorry, I had to mute myself because I needed to cough.
No,
I
it's
still
okay.
think I still think Rao is the better selection for me.
Okay.
I think Rao is more consistently at the higher ceiling.
Okay. Okay.
But
Well,
I don't disagree with you. But the problem isn't that Anderson is bad. The problem
yeah.
is that I think Rao is better.
We're
If you
we're
don't, if,
we're arguing how good they are. We're not arguing how bad they are.
yeah, if you don't like, if you're not happy with that, but I think S and A works for both of them.
Okay. I'm going to put up Jasper Fletcher. He's my current D3 actually.
Do you,
I think at 474k he's a good starting selection.
do you think anything is going to change in that Brisbane backline output? Like, obviously Coleman's looking to join that group again.
I
They
think
still got to get points through Zorko as well. Like, what role is Fletcher really owning for him?
well, I think there's going to be less reliance on Zorko or Zorko will take a different sort of role, replacing what they've lost in Starcevic,
Yeah.
which means that it'll be Wilmot, Coleman, and Fletcher, more of those rebound 50 types. And like we're talking about three guys, Zorko, Fletcher, and Wilmot, who have all finished top 7 for rebound 50s for Brisbane Lions, top 7 for total disposals, top 5 for effective disposals at their club. Like there is no reason why Jasper Fletcher, who's only just turned 21, can't improve on what he's done in previous seasons. He still hasn't even entered his prime yet.
Yeah. Okay. You put him in a tier, and I'll reserve the right to nudge him slightly up or down. No, you nailed it in one.
Okay.
I probably would either, if anything, I might nudge him down slightly, but only because
Well,
of the unknown quantity.
he might be he might be nudged down by who we put above him and by who we put above him, but that's okay.
Do early buys hurt their tiers, though? Jeffrey asks. I honestly, I don't think of buys now, and I don't think of buys in the season. But you know, this is in. I think we're thinking of it on an individual because
Yeah,
you can't.
buys.
You plan your buys based on your whole team structure,
Yeah,
not
buys
just
are
one
about
player.
balance. Buys are about balance. All right, let's move through some quick ones. I'm gonna throw some names at you, and you blurt out their tier. All right?
Yeah, and you can nudge.
Okay. Zach Bailey,
C.
George Hewitt,
B, but above Fletcher.
Oh, really? I'd put him above Steele.
Yeah, and above Fletcher.
Yeah, okay, fine. I'll let you have that one. Zach Merritt.
A tier below the Freo boys.
A tier. I think he's going to get a massive drop off. I'm putting him like here.
Do you really think so, though?
That midfield is going to become Caldwell and Parishes. They already tried to get him out of there last season. He was playing half back, half forward, wing.
Yeah, but also
centre
they
half
only had
bench.
like 4 players.
Yeah, I know, but still.
Zach Merritt was lucky that he wasn't playing as a defender. He had to line up in 2 places at once for the 6-6-6.
I think he's gonna drop off. I think he's gonna drop off. Bottom
Okay.
of B for me. Bottom of B.
Okay. I'll let you have that one. You've been very kind to me, letting me just put some people in some fucked places. Sorry, fricked places. Some fricked places.
Can I? Okay, I'm gonna put a player at top of A purely because of price and predicted output. Okay. 566K for Errol Goulden. He was almost 80K more to start last season.
I would have gone a step further and put him at the bottom of S. But
Oh,
that's just
really?
me. Yeah,
Okay.
I think
I don't think
so
he's S enough.
attractive. He's so attractively priced, Damo.
I don't think he's S enough yet.
S enough. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Um,
Let's keep rapid firing. Let's go.
okay, Tom McCarthy. This
Ooh.
this is a guy who is 500K after being in the system for 6 months.
Top of C tier. I'm more likely to start him than Walsh, Moore, and Bailey.
Okay. Let's go for Darcy Cameron.
D tier.
I'm
above
putting him.
sweet.
I'm putting him top of D.
I just think the ruck line is really. It's kind of it's a game of 4 horses at this point for premium rucks.
Yeah.
Starting Cameron or Sweet would be I'm taking a punt.
Yeah.
And you need a parachute.
I started Darcy Cameron last season. It was interesting to say the
You
least.
had an interesting season. All right, next.
In fact, after round 1 last season, when I had that really poor start, I sent my team to someone because they couldn't believe how badly I started. There was about 4 players that they asked, "Why the fuck did you start that guy?" And Darcy Cameron was one of those players. So I'm not even bothering going a bit wacky with my team. If my team looks vanilla to start, it's because I don't want to be left behind that much. Anyway, next player, Riley Tilthorpe. What
Really?
do
Yeah.
you think? What do you
I
think?
C.
As a forward, as a starting forward
Well,
option?
yeah, of course, as a starting forward option, but I just
Do you know, actually, this is going to sound nuts. If he had dual position ruck forward, I might have put him in my ruck line to start this season.
that is nuts.
And I've literally just finished talking about a story about how I fucked my starting ruck line last season. So, you know what? Maybe I have a problem with my ruck lines, but that's not the point. If he was dual position, if he had ruck position, I would probably start him in my rucks.
Fair enough. He's got what's that? 4 out of his first 6 games at Adelaide Oval.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I could see. Look, I can see it. I don't necessarily think he's B tier, but like I said, I gotta let you have some, Damo. I gotta let you have some. Who's next?
Let's go Nick Blakey.
Ooh, hasn't
I
even come into the conversation for me.
I think he's here. I think he's top of C.
He's
Does the addition of Jai Sarong, who most people are picking as a rookie in their defense, does the addition of Jai Sarong help him?
beats me, Damo, if I'm perfectly honest. It absolutely beats me. He's a relatively consistent scorer, but when he just goes through these patches, he's very Bailey Dale like for me with
Oh,
Nick Blakey, where I'm
okay,
like, oh,
okay.
I'd like to have him, but
Let's do Bailey Dale there as well then.
yeah, let's put them both together. I think
Okay.
either one of these guys is like if they're similarly priced, they're both like attractive ceilings, but have just this like real bad habit of just having really stinky runs. Like I'm
Okay.
literally looking at Bailey Dale's scores, and it's very similar to Nick Blakey, where I'm like, oh, here's a run where he only scored like 80,
Yeah.
and then here's a run where he scored 150 every
Yeah.
week for 2 weeks.
I, I have to say, when he does that lizard run out of defense, I kind of love it. But when it's against your team, you just want to like run out there and trip him.
540 fits right into the under 550k for a defender rule. So I think Blakey at the top of C, possibly lower in B.
Is Blakey better than Zach Merritt?
No.
Okay, so there we go. That's your answer.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. Next player, let's go with Nick Dacos. I think he has to be here.
Yeah.
I mean, early
Yeah, he
buy's annoying, but other than that, like everyone will want him in their teams eventually.
I'm surprised I haven't seen more people starting Dacos this year. 628 is not bad for Dacos.
No, that's a good price for him actually.
It actually feels, when you go to a store, and it's not very often this happens these days, but you go to a store and you're like, yeah, that's exactly how much I would pay for that. 628 is that
Yeah.
good for Dacos.
Yeah, it's the right price.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
no, we've selected it. We've put him in
Okay.
correctly.
Okay, excellent. What about Finn Callahan?
I think he is.
I'm putting him above the Freo boys, but below Noah Anderson in the A tier.
I'd put him above Anderson.
Okay, but I'm not putting him above Holmes.
No, Holmes is the ultimate value.
Okay. Actually,
Holmes-
they're both like the same price.
Yeah, exactly. But Callahan is slightly more expensive, which puts him further down. Tom Green had some interesting stuff to say where
Oh my god, I didn't put Tom Green in this tier list.
No, he didn't.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Tom Green had some interesting stuff to say about Oliver Oliver adding to the midfield group but not taking away from Callahan or Tom Green's roles as part of that. So firmly consider me part of the Calla gang.
Okay.
Which shout out to good friend of the pod Jesse for coining the term Calla gang. I really love that. The Finn Calla gang is riding at dawn, man. 605 is so crazy for what he's capable of outputting. Corey has made a little note in the chat about Nick Blakey averaged 111 in the back half of last year when Mills was back in and helped with no Matty Roberts. Very interesting. I honestly think that little stat might bump him up to above merit or equal with merit.
There? What about there?
Yeah,
Or
I probably put
there.
there. Yeah,
Okay.
slide him there.
Yeah, okay.
Shout out to Corey,
Corey, long time listener,
long time listener,
excellent community member.
excellent community member.
All right, next player. Let's look. Okay, let's not dance around them anymore. Let's go Connor Rosie. I
S
think
tier.
I think for price alone and dual position, he is S tier.
Dual position price running off halfback. Lock it in.
And if he was dual position, I put Clark next to him, but he's not. So I'm putting him below Errol Goulden, but above Nazaya in A.
It's good that you can tell that the Freo man was in control of the car when the tier list was made because Jordan Clark has gone above Nasai.
Look, if Nazaya was also 568k, Nazaya would go above Jordan Clark.
That's fair. If he was better, he would go above him. You're right, Damo. Nas is trash. Yeah, I think that's perfectly cromulent. It's fun. It's made up for fun. Like
This tier list is about starting picks, value, buys, everything, and also vibes.
yeah. This tier list is whatever the frick we want it to be because I'm a 30-year-old man talking about fake points.
To be
made
honest,
up for sports.
I don't really want to put the tier list out onto social medias because people will need to listen to this podcast to make sense of whatever the fuck we're saying about it. So
No, good. We're gonna drive views through shock value. This is the closest that I'll ever become to being a shock jock. Put who we got left on the list there? Yeah, put Luke Jackson in D tier.
I
The
will
shock
not let
value.
I will not let that happen.
You're really starting Luke Jackson over Tristan Sherry, you cowards. D
No,
tier.
I'm starting both of them.
Coward.
Actually, you know what? Let's put Master next to Apprentice.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
And then you mentioned Cherry. I'm putting Cherry here. I'm putting Cherry in S tier.
It's the same reasons as Gorn, but he's slightly younger and in slightly better conditions. Jeffrey calling us out for inconsistency. Well, if you wanted consistency, you wouldn't be here. The only thing we consistently do is love you, listeners.
It's not about buys, but it is about buys. But it's about starting selections. We're doing whatever we feel. Okay,
Ultimately,
this is about feel. We're reaching into the warm parts of our pants and just
hang on. Well, no, hang on. Gonna stop you there. My hands are firmly, if I wish the cameras were still up, my hands are firmly above the desk and not anywhere near my pants. Listeners, whatever you do in the privacy of your home phone, home is home phone. Whatever you're doing in the privacy of your own home is your business. This is a super coach tier list.
in the privacy of your home phone.
Yeah. Well, hey, look.
Hey, if you have a home phone, you might need a private moment.
Huh. Yeah. I think Tristan Sherry is high A tier, but not quite S tier. Only based on price. He's kind of expensive.
Wait, sorry,
all the
where did you say S tier or A tier? Can I put him here? Does that make more sense?
Nah, put him in S tier.
Okay, S tier.
I don't picture a starting team that I have without him.
Can I put Apprentice above the Master? I think
It's just not true though, Timo. The only thing that
Like
puts
if I could put them here, like on top of each other, like in the same place, I would.
yeah, if you had two dolls that you can make them kiss in the privacy of your own home. My favorite part of the mailbag this week was when they said Luke Jackson and Max Gorn should kiss. The mailbag's gone woke. Send your fanfics to footymailbag@gmail.com.
I'm putting Jackson and Gorn together. Now kiss. We're having too much fun with this, and also losing our mind just a little
Yeah,
bit.
the age difference is really problematic in this fanfic, so I'm just gonna have to. They respectfully decide to be friends.
Hey, hey, they're both legal.
That's yeah.
I shouldn't. I shouldn't fucking say that.
Look,
Christian Salem. Where are we putting Christian Salem?
he is in. Oh, okay. So the injury to Jake Bowie makes Christian Salem interesting. Jake Bowie took almost half, not almost half, but pretty close to half of the kick-ins. It was split pretty evenly between him and Stephen May. Christian Salem took about 50 kick-ins. Bowie took 71, and May took 76, or something in the realm of those numbers. I did look it up the other day. Jake Bowie is out for 6 months. Christian Salem as a starting selection at under 500k, I think is extremely interesting because somebody's got to take those kick-ins.
Someone's gonna take those cookings.
Someone's going to take those cookings, and who else but one of the best kicks at Melbourne? So I'd probably put him in.
Is he here?
I'd probably put him at the bottom of B tier with an top of C tier with an asterisk.
Okay.
I know you can't
Okay.
put an asterisk in, but just for the benefit of the listeners at home, with an asterisk.
I feel like we should have labeled these tiers, because seeing some of the players in B, it's like, really? Because some of these guys are like A class players.
Nah, I thought labeling them was too hard.
Okay, fair enough.
Because it's not. The thing is, right, we're a super coach podcast demo, so any of this is not a reflection of player, like skill of player. It's about whether or
Also,
not we...
I feel so sorry for the people listening to this after we've done the live stream and can't see what we're doing.
That's
It's
okay,
okay.
that's a vibe.
I will read out names afterwards. I'll read out all the tiers as we go. But like right now, we're just putting them in. It's just let it happen, listeners. We'll explain later.
That's right. There's a portion of this podcast now is just dedicated to Max Gorn and Luke Jackson kissing. I think that Christian Salem is at the top of C tier.
Okay, we'll put him top of C. Zach Butters.
Everybody's really hot on Butters.
I'm hot on Butters.
You are hot on Butters. I think he's A tier, but I think he's also too expensive.
He's hot Butters.
Not too expensive. I just don't like Butters. I'm going to be more honest about who I am as a person.
What about like what about this? What about A tier behind Holmes, above Callahan?
For reference, listeners, Damo was like, "What about this?" and then pointed his cursor that the two port players in S and A tier were next to each other, and I was like, "Yes, that is aesthetically pleasing." There was like a split second where I thought it was just all about, yes, visually this appeals to me. Zach Butters is 654k. He's the second highest price mid. I think his output is there, but I also look at him and I'm like, you're a little crybaby, and I don't like you. I would rather play with Connor Rosie or Matt Rowell, my Matt Rowell dolls, or 650 is very expensive.
I'm a big Zach Butters fan though.
I think
I voted for him middle of A, but
yeah, I think he could be higher.
But I also feel a little biased, and I'm trying not to show my bias too much.
I think you could put him higher, and it wouldn't be a problem, because I understand the reasons why people are behind it. They're playing North in the first round.
Can I put here?
Yeah, okay. Second to top in the A
Yeah.
tier, behind Errol Goulden.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, because he's going to be a lot of M1. He's going to take up a lot of M1 real estate.
Now, Josh Dunkley. We spoke about him in the last podcast being like consistent as fuck.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't averaged under 110 since crossing to Brisbane, and he's just one of those guys where, like, you're not like he's gonna knock out a score between 90 and 110, 115 most fucking weeks.
Most fucking weeks, boys. They
Most
got
most
real important.
fucking weeks. Um,
Is yeah, he is like he. There are some stinky ones in there. Like I'm not gonna be
yeah, so-
honest, I'm not
yeah,
going through it, but
but
I think
yeah.
he's generally solid for, like you said, a 110. But the question that I have to ask is at 620, is his lack of ceiling for 620k? Is that a problem for you?
You pay for what you get.
Because I think we talked
There's
about Nick
there's
Dacos, right? Nick Dacos is in S tier because,
yeah, yeah,
we're
but
saying he's the perfect price for him, but he also has like a massive ceiling to cap that, right?
but for me with Dunkley, it's you pay for what you get. He's probably going to start at 620, then end at about 600. The average will be about 111, 112 again. Yeah, it's a non-problematic selection.
Yeah, yeah.
So
CWT,
I've put him bottom of A.
yeah. CWT in the chat. Uh, he's going to spit out a 175 in round one and then plateau at 105 for the remainder. That's probably about correct. If you're going to put him in A tier, I won't stop you. I think he's B tier, personally.
He's either bottom of A or top of B.
I'd be more likely to start. I'm just thinking I'd be more, who would I be more likely to have in my team? And this is why it makes the tier list a little bit subjective. I'd be more likely to have Whitfield, Petrarca, Gorn, or Jackson in my team than I would be to have Dunkley. But I'd be more likely to have Dunkley in my team than I would be to have George Hewitt.
Okay.
So
That
look,
that
leave
that
leave him
that,
leave him where he is. But I
that doesn't
think he's
change anything for me.
well, I think I would put him in the middle of B tier if it were up to me. But let's leave him in A where you've put him.
Okay. When we get to the end, we might move some guys around.
No, it's fine. We don't have time.
Okay. Jordan Dawson.
Jordan Dawson is super consistent. He's very interestingly priced at 610. I still think that he is, like, obviously he's leader of the club, leads by example. He's got an amazingly accurate kick. He's another guy like Dunkley who is just good for like a 110.
I reckon A, almost top.
No,
No? Where are you
no.
putting him? You tell me.
He's at best equal with Dunkley.
Okay.
At best.
But above Dunkley.
Yeah, only based on price.
Okay. Sure.
I just like, it's just, once again, it's like, I'd not, if I'm going for a premium, I want a guy who's got like a more regular ability to hit his ceiling. But when you look at his really massive spike scores from last year, Jordan Dawson, it's like he has a like 150 game in there and then a couple of 130s against the poorer teams. And then towards the back end of the season, Adelaide were making a bit of a move, so there's a few spike games against some of the weaker teams then. But just for the rest of the year, it's just so up and down. Like 610, I'd probably rather go to a higher end guy at that price.
Okay.
Like I'd rather jump to an Anderson, or I'd rather jump down to like a Callahan.
Okay.
Max Holmes is still 600k.
You keep mentioning that.
Yeah, I'm starting Max Holmes. Does anyone know that?
I think people have worked it out by now.
Yeah,
Okay. Let's finish off these next four really quickly.
Yeah.
Brody Grundy. I'm going to put him here, which is B after Gorn, after Jackson, but above Hewitt.
So the middle of B tier that feels okay.
With the players that we've put him near, it almost feels wrong because this is a guy who averaged like 140 post buy.
He really found his edge with Sydney, especially towards the back end of the year. There was definitely a lot of time where it was, I think people saw him. A lot of people started him as value last year, right? Am I misremembering that?
Yeah, and then a lot of people jumped off because he was crap at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, and he rewarded those that stuck out for him. But 670 is such an intricately difficult price to fit in. He's only 10k less than Sherry and only 20k less than Gorn. The 200 against Essendon, 154, 153 back to back against St Kilda and North. But he started off really poorly, so I don't know. I don't know if I can take that risk, but I think middle of B feels right.
Okay. In context of this tier list, middle of B feels right.
Yeah.
Tim English.
Timmy Tallman.
I reckon he's about here.
Probably lead with it here, but go on.
I think he's in C, but he's below Salem, below Dale, below McCarthy, below Walsh.
It's good. This is good for my trying to build my cognition of what these bunch of guys look like. Yeah, it feels disrespectful to him as a footballer to put him in C, but I think as a Supercoach prospect, there's just too many good players above him. Like there's too many good ruckmen above him that you'd rather start with and spend up on.
Yeah. All right. Last two, Sam Darcy and Cozzy Pickett. If we were going on excitement, they'd be at the top of S. But if we're going at Supercoach prospects, where are you putting Sam Darcy?
Probably in C again, only because he's a key forward.
I'm putting him top of C if you're putting him in C.
Well, would you put him in B?
I would put him above Riley Tilthorpe in B.
The problem is that you've put him above Blakey. You've put him above.
But then, would I pick George? No, I'm moving George Hewitt. Like that feels so much better if I do it like that.
No, but you're really horny for key forwards, Tamo, and for lots of other things, judging by how much you wanted to put hands down pants.
What's wrong with key forwards?
It's consistency, right? Like, I don't know if he can manage that kind of scoring and maintain that price really heavily at the start of the year. Like, that's the question that I have.
No, look, I don't think he can go below middle of B. I think if we're being serious, he can't go below middle of B.
When have we ever been serious on this show?
Look,
name one time.
Clarky, I'm trying to finish the podcast because we're going for way too fucking long.
You're trying to finish, Damo. I know. I hear you. What you do in the privacy of your own home is your business. My problem is that key forwards have this thing where you're paying 520k for a guy who on some weeks is going to score you 40 points. Right? Like, this isn't about skill. Sam Darcy's great. He's awesome to watch and he's great to have in those periods where he's doing well. But he was injured from round 7 to 13. He didn't play. Then he comes back and he scores a 108. That's great. He scores a 144 against Richmond. That's great. And then a 70, 70, 70. Like,
can we do that? Can I move him like around like that?
That's fine. Leave him there. But I just want to be very clear that like that's my issue with the key forward for 500k thing, right? Like, it's not that they're bad, and it's not that I wouldn't. If somebody selected them, I'd be like, I get it.
Oh yeah,
it's not for me.
This is a super coach tier list for starting selection. We keep on changing what this tier list is for, actually. So
I've been very clear that this is about like I'm specifically thinking about these from a super coach perspective, the reasons why I would start these guys and levels that I would choose to pick these guys for my squad. The guys in S are people who I would put in my team with zero hesitation and would only remove based on structure or price.
Okay.
And then moving through my thresholds for chopping and changing them increase.
Okay.
Right? Like, and that's the thing, the key forward issue, and it's the same thing with Cozzy Pickett, who's the next player that we're going to pick. Sure, guaranteed mid minutes, he's 490k. That makes him much more attractive at 490k with a role change, right? Like he's training
So
with the
where are
mids.
you putting him?
I'd still put him in. I'd still put him in low end B, high end C, just because it's a question of consistency. If we're talking, this is a tier list of premium, quote unquote, premium selections at like at a premium price point.
Would you
You
put
would
him? Would you put him there between Darcy and Tilthorpe then?
yeah, it comes with the
Yeah.
same it comes with the same
Yeah.
risk.
Okay.
The difference with Cozzy is that he does have another source of scoring, right?
Okay.
And it's
I
it's the unknown factor.
All right. So at the end of it, we've got Sheasel, Bont, Rao, Dacos, Rosie, and Cherry in S tier. Goulden, Butters, Clark, Nazire, Holmes, Callahan, Anderson, Brayshaw, Sarong, Dawson, and Dunkley in A tier. B tier is Whitfield, Petrarca, Gorn, Jackson, Grundy, Blakey, Hewitt, Sam Darcy, Pickett, Tilthorpe, Fletcher, Steele, and Merritt. And then C tier is Salem, Dale, McCarthy, Walsh, English, Moore, and Bailey. And then D tier is Cameron, Sweet, and Stewart. Is there anything that you want to change, Clarky?
No, it
Like,
seems
is there anything that you feel so strongly that you want to change?
no. I feel like I've made my points while also conceding that this is a made up tier list.
Yeah.
This is this is a tier list with mixed positions, and it's all
I as much as I kept trying to move Luke Jackson up, you are pretty strong that he can't go above Gorn.
like you can put him above Gone if you want. Demo, it's all made up. It's all fake.
Like
It's not real.
like
Life
I
isn't real.
I would put him here.
I just I haven't considered him for my starting team at all. I think
He
I think there's a lot of hype around these ruck rule changes.
he was the first player that I selected.
Well, this is the thing, right? And we'll talk about we're planning to talk about the ruck rule changes a little bit more in depth, but everybody's really hot on like, oh, these ruck rule changes are going to be really good for Luke Jackson. It's like, yes, but he still has the same problem at Frio that he had last year, which is he's got another guy in his team who's a good ruck but not good at much else. They've also added Mason Cox into the mix. So like is the rule
Clarky.
change going to be better for him? Is there going to
Clarky.
be any consistency in that ability?
Clarky.
Yes.
Jackson didn't play midfield at Melbourne. He wasn't afforded the opportunity to play midfield at Melbourne. The Dockers have created a platform for him to potentially play as a big bodied midfielder, which he's done in match sims all through the preseason so far, and he's looked bloody good at it.
That's fine, but that's not that's not in season. In the same way that I'm talking about Cozzy Picker, like he's training with the mids, but I guarantee you, if they need someone to score points, they're going to stick him in the forward line again. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just the unknown factor for me. It's like preseason's all really good to prospect, but I struggle to come around to it until I see something more tangible that changes my vibe of it.
I'm really hot on Jackson. I'm really
I know,
hot
and
on
I
Jackson.
encourage you to continue to be hot on Jackson in the same way that Max Gawn is B at best, but he's still in my team. Do you know what I mean?
All right. Yeah.
I'm trying to talk without bias, but I wanted to be very clear. I have my own biases, and I've got loads of guys.
Yeah.
Like I got loads of guys in this list who I'm like, oh yeah, D tier. I'd probably put Jordan Sweet in my team next week for fun, just to see what it looks like.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the tier list. Clarky, you want to finish us off?
No,
Whoa.
I don't want to finish you off, Damo. Absolutely not.
Would you like to end the podcast, please?
Thank God, please let me leave. So, listeners, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much to the people in the chat joining us. We appreciate you. We were reading along, but also trying to put out an audio medium, so didn't want to stop and start too much. But we see you. We love you. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want, you can follow us on social media at Footy Mailbag on X and Instagram. You can also head over to your podcast platform of choice and find the Footy Mailbag. If you're on there, give us a rating and review. It does help us a little bit, but word of mouth helps us just as much and so much more, really. If you know someone who wants to get in and needs someone to answer a question, the Footy Mailbag is the perfect show for you, because I believe we're probably going to be opening questions up next week.
Questions are open as of next week's episode.
Absolutely. So if you have a question for your starting side, if you want something answered about football, now is the time to send it in. You can have it over to our website at thefootymailbag.net, where you can submit a question using our Google form, or you can send us a voice message. We do want to hear your lovely voices over there. If not, there'll be a post up on our Twitter as well, where you can put that, and over on our Facebook. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week, right?
See you next
You
week.
be good.
Bye.
Bye.